Welcome to another episode of the Baseball Awakening Podcast, where we dive into the raw, unfiltered, unsexy side of player development. Get ready for some knowledge bombs with your host, Geoff Rottmayer.
Hey guys, Geoff Rottmayer here, and this is going to be the start of the Baseball Bytes Series that I'm going to start doing every week on Monday and Friday. And then, of course, on Wednesday, we'll release the interviews that I do with some great people in the industry. These are going to be short. These are going to be 2 to 8 minutes long. You know, I'm in the trenches every single day. I go to the ball fields every week. This is going to kind of be my way to kind of share and kind of get some things off my chest of things that I see and hear, and maybe someone who's listening can relate. So today I want to talk about a hitter that I have who started off his season strong. This is a high school kid, and their season is just about over. So it went by fast. But he started off the season strong, and then went into a mid-season slump where he was striking out 2 to 3 times a game. So when he was in, you know, something that I have all my hitters do is keep a journal, a hitting journal. And this has allowed me to have some very deep conversations with my hitters and get a better understanding of what they are thinking and doing. You know, and prior to the journal, when I would ask them how they were doing, everybody was doing great. But then I would talk to the parents, and that wasn't always the case. So the journal got away from guys leaving the details out, the things that they don't want to talk about. So we are going through his journal, and I'm getting a pretty good understanding of what's going on. But in the beginning of the journal, I put down some lines for them to put down their goals. And this kid was very hesitant to share this part with me in the beginning of the season. But since he was struggling, I said, we need to let's review this and see what we're working with. So, of the 8 lines, I didn't care if you put 1 goal, 5 goal, 8. I didn't care. Just have something to shoot for. So, as we're going through his goals, he had 8 of them down. But what I quickly noticed was 5 of the 8 goals that he put down were things that he could not control. So there was a lot of pressure placed on him by himself to accomplish these goals, most of which he had no control over. So I worked with him to adjust these goals and to have goals that were more of what he can control. So I'm going to kind of share this with you, what his goals were and what we altered them to. And this kid's been on a tear since we shifted kind of his mindset and his goals. All right, so the first part, he said, I want to hit 400. And I kind of looked at him, I said, okay, listen, if you barrel up baseballs all day long and guys catch it, that goes against your batting average. But can you control guys catching the ball that you're hitting? And he said no. So I went on to explain, but look, you know, if we are consistent in barreling up the baseball and we do it often, then baseballs will fall. So that made sense to him. So we kind of changed wanting to hit 400. We changed that to the goal of being consistent in squaring up the baseball. So we went from hitting 400 to being consistent in squaring baseball. The second part was he said he wanted to hit 3 home runs this year. And again, I said, can you control this? And he said no. I said, look, dude, you're pushing yourself way too hard to get these homers, and you're swinging uncontrollably, which you're trying to do too much. You know, and he admitted that. He admitted that he was swinging 100% as hard as he could every single time, despite the count or the situation. And we saw what we saw in the journal as we were going through the journal was he was fouling off his pitch so much. There were a lot of pitches that were in his wheelhouse and that he should have just crushed, but he was missing them because he was swinging way too hard, and he was just fouling them off. He was just missing them, but he was doing that a lot. So he was getting behind the count quick, and then he would go down. So we changed his goal from trying to hit 3 home runs to consistently hit the baseball hard. You know, it's like that. Look at the correlation between that and the first goal we just altered. If we consistently barrel up the baseball, then we consistently hit the ball hard. And then if we do that enough, maybe some balls will leave. But we're not trying to hit baseballs out of the ballpark. We're trying to consistently square it up and hit it hard. And then we went into his next goal was to have lots of 3-for-3 and 4-for-4 games. And by now he was kind of starting to see how this worked and quickly changed this to having quality at bats, which I thought was good, but we then needed to define quality at bat for him. You know, it didn't matter what I think it should be, but what did it mean to him? And so we defined that his quality of bat for him meant that he was seeing the ball, he was getting a good pitch to hit, and he was barreling the baseball up with a controlled swing. And then it also got to, you know, he also said, you know, getting ahead of the count and taking advantage of pitches that he was now missing. So I said, okay, so let's go with that. So we went from 3-for-3 days, 4-for-4 days, to just having quality at bat, which meant seeing the baseball, getting a good pitch to hit, and barreling it up. Getting ahead of the count, taking advantage of pitches that he was missing. I was good with that. So then we went into the next goal was to be the best player on the team. So I looked at him and I said, dude, how do you quantify being the best player on the team? And he said, the best players have the best numbers. So I was like, wow, dude. So now we're really pressing to do better than Johnny instead of being the best version of ourselves and competing with ourselves. So we changed that one. We changed that one to be the best that I can be and just do me. I said, support your teammates, root for them, but we cannot compare ourselves to them. All we can do is do the best that we can possibly do and just focus on us. If you do that, good things will happen. But trying to be the best player on the team, man, that's really a pressing issue. And then the last one that we changed was he said he wanted to hit 500 for his entire high school playing career. So all 4 years. Wow. So he's, you know, by this point he's getting it. So he quickly changed that to he wanted to be a consistent player and be a competitor and compete in every opportunity that he had. So again, you know, this kid been on a tear since. So you can see how we taken a something that he couldn't control and changed it to something that he could control. And you know what? There was nothing wrong with his swing. The problem was he was swinging out of his shoe all the time. He was trying to do too much, pressing too much. You know, I encourage everybody to have their hitters have a journal. This allowed me to look into what his goals were, get into his mind and his process, you know, what he was thinking and what he was trying to accomplish. And he was shooting too hard for something that he couldn't control.